Hello, this is very basic fundamental hand fighting for RNC control. Okay, so the RNC is easily the best way to submit someone because even as Elio said, even the toughest guy can be put to sleep. Some people can defend arm bars, knee attacks, ankles all day long. You cut off the blood supply to the brain and they go to sleep. So this is a skill worth developing and worth knowing and having in your toolbox. So whatever way I get to this position, right now it's not a realistic entry, him opening his arms and letting me in and attacking him. Nobody's going to do that in a fight. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But we're only doing this for demonstration purposes. When I take his back, somewhere along the roll or the fight, whatever you guys want to call it, we're going to end up in this position or something very, very similar to it, a variation of this, but we're going to be in this position. What I need to do immediately is I need to pin him with my chest to his back. I need to have some kind of control over his rotation. My elbow goes over his shoulder, my jaw over his other shoulder, my head pushing into him. And I want him to feel very, very constricted. So when this happens, if he does absolutely nothing, I'm going to get my hand in here, just like we showed in the other video, boom, and here comes the choke. That'd be awesome if everybody just held still and let you do that, but that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is instinctively, he's going to reach up and try to grab my arms to pull himself free. I'm going to control, again, by pulling my elbows back, and be as tight as I can on him. Right now I'm pretty tight on my opponent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start hand fighting. Whatever way I do the hand fighting, I want to end up in a certain position. So whichever way I get there, the easiest configuration is for me to circle, push his hand away. I don't want to pull his hand down because he can set up a frame underneath it because he knows I'm trying to, he can like block under his wrist and not let me pull his hand down. But it's harder for him to stop this. Once I do that, this hand comes up. He's going to go here, and again, I want to pull out. Once I pull out, I want to pull my shoulders in. Now he's in a very weak position. This shoulder that I was controlling with my elbow, I'm now controlling with his wrist. I'm blocking his own shoulder. So what I'm going to do now to set up my attack to finish this, both of our arms are occupied. So what I want to do is I want him to run out of arms to defend before I run out of arms to attack. So I'm going to fall to the side here, foot on his hip. I want my foot on his hip because if I don't, he's going to push off, go north, get his back to the mat, and all that work was for nothing. So when I come in here and I fall, my first priority is to not let him get higher than my head. So right here now, I'm going to push this away. I'm going to put my heel over his forearm, and then I'm going to push his forearm. I don't care about his elbow. I just don't want his hand to come back into the fight. For all intents and purposes, his hand is useless. He might as well not even have a hand here. Now, I've got two hands to one. All I have to do is not lose this battle right here, and I've won because I can pull, get my arm out now. He's out of hands to defend this. I can do whatever I want here as far as coming up here and starting. I want to switch my head over to the other side. Bring my elbow down, shoot this to the back, push his head forward, and right here, I want to bring my elbows together. That finishes the choke. Again, Hooks in, seatbelt, elbow to the shoulder, jaw to the other shoulder, my head right here. I don't want there to be any space between his back and my chest. When he goes to defend, I want to push it out and down. If he does nothing, I'll get the choke. If he reaches up, which he should, I'm going to come down and I'm going to push away. Always away. Once I have him away, I'm going to bring him back, elbows in tight. Try to turn. It makes it almost impossible to move from here. So now I'm going to fall to the side, and now we're going to start the actual hand fighting, where I want him to run out of arms. The only way I'm going to win is if I bring my legs into the fight. I'm going to push his elbow away and make sure his hand is no longer part of this fight. I'm going to pull up, my hand shoots in, and I want my elbow to end up about where his jaw is. Once I have this secure, there are ways to finish it one-handed, but it puts a lot of pressure along his trachea. I don't want to do that. I want to tilt his head away, let go, elbow strike, bring my hand forward. And here's the part where a lot of people want to pull. It's not. RNC is a compression. I want to come forward and bring my elbows together. When you're doing it right, it's a real easy choke. So that is very basic, fundamental hand fighting for the RNC. It's something that you need to have in your toolbox. Thank you for watching these videos. We look forward to your comments.